Hello friends, hello fans of this program. Commentary on Matrix is going to level 2. I have a different or better understanding of some situations, and I had made some more observations. So far the observations are very lightweight, meaningly it's what I've seen on the screen. However, some of the elements of the plot is really not so obvious, in particular, this Buddhist entity, this Buddhist monk, was always, a mystery to me, a conundrum. It's just odd. It just doesn't sit well with the flow of the movie, or the events, or the logic of the movie. It just doesn't add up. So I have different tags on it, different approaches or understanding of it, and I'm going to try to elucidate or explain a couple of ideas or thoughts or theories about who this boy is. And I think I have a better handle now on this. So let's continue. So I guessed earlier, I guessed earlier that this boy was maybe my relative, maybe, reincarnation and whatnot. But I have a different handle on it. Right now, if you look, you will see that he covered one eye, and in one eye, something shows up in the spoon, as if it's a bird, flying bird, taken off. But then I got a few more items to discuss here, so let's go for it. I had guessed that this here was from a previous scene, was a man's reproductive organ, right? It may be there as well, but it also can be something else too. Let me explain it. So here, when Neo holds the spoon, you will see in the back of the spoon, if you come closer and play the whole clip, you will see the reflection of Morpheus. I think this is where it is.
Do not try and beckon the spoon. It's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
There is no spoon?
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself.
Yeah, I think here I see Morpheus in the spoon. Morpheus's reflection in the spoon.
The Oracle will see you now.
Alright, let me phrase it. So, I'm going to do some counting here. So, here you will see there's 1, 2, 3 girls, right? Plus the 2 dark or Middle Eastern looking girls sitting down, levitating those cubes, right? With letters and bugs and whatever on them. So what we have here is 1, 2, 3, right? And then there's 2.
The other potential can read here.
And there's a boy. So we got 3 girls and 1 boy. and 4 and 5. These two are alike. The others are a little bit different. So we got 1, right, and 5. So we got 1, 5. One boy and 4, excuse me, 1 boy and 5 girls. So now I am thinking here in this instance, the spoon is really a sperm, right? So we got 1 boy and then girls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 girls. Why? Because the spoon doesn't work. It's broken, right? Which means they're girls. But 1 is erect, so he's got 1 boy and 5 girls, right? 1 boy and 5 girls. Now here, you will see somebody with a hat, right? A trench coat and a head. It's real picture. I don't know who it is. But if I fast forward it a little bit, I see the head of a woman, and that is of Trinity. See? That's the head of a woman. And before it, there was a head of the man, right? Not Neo. This here is not Neo. And the one before it, right? This is not Neo. So this here, and now out of whoever has had and Trinity, now we get this, which is Neo, right? Or a copy of Neo. So now the spoon got erected, right? Between whoever is father and then Trinity. So, who is this guy? Now I keep asking myself, who is this guy? What does he represent? What role is he playing? What is the story? What is the secret? What is the mystery behind him? I keep asking myself. I could not skip over this scene in particular and this boy in particular, this entity. In my inner conscious, they have a lot of significance. I just can't decipher it. But like I told you, I got a different opinion now. So if you look here, you will see his eyes. I thought his eyes were doctored to look like an adult, right? But now I have a better thought of it, a better approach to it. I think he looks like Trinity. So those blue eyes look like those of Trinity, as well as the head looks like that of Cypher. Cypher and Trinity put together. Now if you noticed, when they left the hotel where the Nebuchadnezzar is, where that lodge is, where that room 303 is, right? It was Morpheus who escorted Neo to the Oracle, right? Walked with him into the Oracle's building, or nest, or whatever that is, right? And then Trinity and Cypher just are no show. As soon as they arrive on the scene where the Oracle is, Trinity and Cypher have just disappeared. They're not here at all. They only arrive and then they only show up as they go back to the hotel, right? The 1 hour deal hotel, right? So he looks like them. So now I'm making the assumption that this here really is an amalgamation of them. They are able to transform or shapeshift into this boy, and now they're talking to him. And like I showed you, if you look closely on the back of the spoon, when Neo was holding the spoon and gazing on it and inspecting it, it shows Morpheus as a reflection. It's you could sort it out, roughly sort it out, but he's there. So now poor Neo, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I thought that was his son, but here now I'm going to say that here the oracle's place is a fertility clinic, right? But where is, I mean, right now they're trying to make us understand that there's no sperm, right? Or there's no spoon. So there's no sexuality in this movie. So how is it that Neo is being cloned, or Neo is being given his, his sperm, and then it's being taken from him? My feeling is there are goblins like him, maybe, and when good old Neo, or poor dumb Neo, sucker, sucker Neo, that when he somehow ejaculates, no matter how, they are able to assimilate and dissimulate and disappear and appear, and they come and collect the sperms while he's not looking, while he doesn't know, and so on. They are lightweight beings, right? You know, those beings, the Trinity, the Cypher, well, not the Cypher, I want to exclude Cypher, and Morpheus, and Dozer, and Tank, you know, they vanish and reappear, appear and disappear and reappear again, and they're ether beings. They're not really real beings, right? But when they need to collect any sperm, you know, they collect it somehow, somewhere. I have a clue to that, I will show you. But now I am thinking this is an amalgamation between the eyes look like those of a combination or superimposed between Trinity and Cypher, right? Or just Trinity and Morpheus. I do not know, but that's what this boy looked like to me. He does seem to be a little bit older than what you would guess he is. Here I am thinking he is like 12, 13, but he definitely looks probably 15 or 16 or even 17 here in this picture. So that's that. So the 5 spoons, bent spoons, are for girls, which are there. The 1 spoon, whole spoon, non-bent spoon is really the boy that was reading a book and looking over the book. So there's no spoon bothers me a little bit. Here, what the implication is, maybe it's just a copy, right? Genetic copy of sperms, right? Or cells or embryos, right? What does that mean? Is there such an advanced technology that we don't know about, or even non-human technology? You know, I am not being superstitious here, but as of late I am beginning to believe that there's something like that, right? But from the CB4, I would say the opposite is true. Meaningly, there definitely is a sperm, or there's definitely a usage of a sperm. So here he is being brought here to siphon off his spoons. I mean his spoons, by way of this spirit here, this spirit, evil spirit, which is an amalgamation between Trinity and Morpheus, or perhaps Trinity and Cypher, or perhaps all 3 of them, right? I mean, to me, it looks like the eyes are very close.
There is no spoon.
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself.
It's only yourself. So that's what I'm thinking. It's a little bit confusing. You can't just derive any facts from it, but it's either they're saying there's a real cloning, right, of the spoon, or they're saying that there is a spoon being taken, I mean a sperm being taken, while you do not feel or know or what it is, perhaps when you're asleep. And now if you look closely here, you will truly see the reflection of Morpheus in the spoon. So the reflection here, maybe that boy is Morpheus. He has Rabbi Morpheus shape-shifted into a little Buddhist boy, right? Does the Buddhist boy has a historic significance or marker in the past where some Buddhist monk was able to hop in time and travel in time and shapeshift and assimilate and dissimulate and you know, like, or reincarnate, or you know, like that he has become some kind of a deity or entity that is doing what it's doing. Yep, you can definitely see Morpheus here. That's definitely the case. So now 5 girls and 1 boy, as per the spoons laid down before the Buddhist monk, right? Could those 4 girls and 1 boy be his children, right? Now that places me in the picture. I've been trying to get into this picture and become famous for a little while now, ever since I started commentary on it. But I can't find it here. However, I'm becoming hopeful. Now, the smile on the boy's face is a little bit surreal. It's superstitious. It's supernatural. So that is a clone of him, or this is a matter of possession, right? Possession. You know, to be possessed by a demon or something of the sort. Here, there's something is happening. So his sperms are used to generate a new Neo, but with a superpower, right? Supernatural being. Could they mean that by this entity a god or something like that? I don't know. But the Kukukowskis definitely threw some nasty curves around this scene here. Only they know what is going on. But what I speculated on so far is pretty good, actually. Pretty good assessment. And I'm not so precise, but I'm sure I finally got it. So could those children be his children? You know, the 1 boy and 5 girls, Neo's children. Now, if you notice,
The Oracle will see you now.
okay, so here I want to show you that this is a matter of sperm and embryo, frozen sperm and embryos. So they've taken his sperms and embryos, and now I am certain of that. And this is where they freeze them, right? And they're only yellow, green, and red, right? You don't see any blue sperms here or embryos. Frozen, right? And these here, I do believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 perhaps. These are empty baskets. What does that mean? That means these baskets are older Neos. So once she's finished with him, she's probably gonna put him here as a basket, and now his sperms, you know, like total sperms, have been stored here, right? In the freezer, or in the, it's not a cryogenic freezing, but like deep freezing of embryos and sperms. You know how some people store them for later use or after they die or something of the sort, right? The leaves here, you know, again, you don't see blue, but a leaf here means like the fall, autumn. You know how trees shed their leaves in the autumn? So when you're here, you become a leaf, right? Your sperms are taken and frozen here to be used to replicate and to clone other human beings or other replicas, right? But then you become something similar to, you know, like a fallen leaf, right? Fallen leaf. And fallen leaf is a poetic example of ending, of seasonal ending, of expiration. You know, a fallen leaf, right? It instigates or stirs up some poignant feelings of expiration, of ephemerality, and so on and so forth. So that's what they're saying. They live long, but this poor guy, they have to extract his sperms and store them here in the fridge, and he's like a fallen leaf. He just falls down. And then he is in the telephone book. So all the clones are within the telephone book, right? And then there's, of course, that transmission here. So that's my take on this here. Now, I know they're taking his sperms. How do I know? Well, there are hints about it. I will show you in a little bit.
I know you're Neo. You're right with me.
You're the Oracle?
Bingo.
So as you can see, she has a rolling pin here, like Prissy the chicken. And if he doesn't like it, she's gonna bash him on the head with it.
What you were expecting, right?
Almost done. Smell good, don't they?
Yeah.
I'd ask you to sit down, but you're not going to anyway. And don't worry about the vase.
What is?
That vase.
So she's going to say something that's very terrible. I mean, it's awfully painful to be in such a position and you're so clueless and ignorant to your surrounding or what's being done to you or what's being taken from you.
I can see why she likes you.
Who?
Not too bright, though.
Not too bright, meaningly, he's being cooked. He's been set up to be killed in a little bit. His sperms and his genetics are going to spawn entire race of AI, right? They call him AI because that's their consideration for him. And he's here, and poor guy, he doesn't even realize it. He is the one for what? Now here, behind here, if you notice, there are some jars.
You know what Morpheus brought you to see me. So, what do you think? Do you think you are the one?
Honestly, I don't know.
You know what that means? I think it's Latin. Means know thyself.
So those jars are urns. U-R-N-S. U-R-N. Urn is where they put the ashes of their dead ones who were cremated. You know, so some people, like in India and here and there, they cremate their dead. But in the West, after they cremate them, they take their ashes and put it in a jar and put it at home. That's morbid, man. That's macabre, if you ask me. All right, but there's something else I wanted to show you. So you get the gift means you have the genetic quality that they're looking for. I explained it differently before. That still stands, but now I am thinking what they mean by that is really he's got the genetic material they're looking for. And that they were going to take his genetic material, mainly sperms, and then they will spawn an entire race of AI from him. Of course, once they made sure of that, they kill him. Now they have all these materials in the freezer or in the refrigerator, as I showed you in a little bit, a minute ago, right? When and how did they take it, right? I think they brought him here for some reason or another, just to explain or make a point about him being the source of all these genetic materials. He's going to become the Adam and the father of this AI race, right? But I will show you in a little bit where and when and how they collected those sperms from him in mass, right? So here you're going to notice 3 cups with target, right? Target. So he's a target, really. And maybe there are few before him as well, right? So.
Without him.
And you see those urns as well. So targets to urns, you know, ashes, you know, whatnot. Here, you do not see any blue color where the oracle is, right? You see green, you see red, and you see brown, right? And you see yellow. And each one has a role, a significance, a symbolic meaning or significance here. What they're trying to say is, if you're brown, you're like myself, you're gonna be ashes in an urn, right? Otherwise, you're gonna be a target. Or here, this is not Islam. The Islamdom is that big map, right? You know, of which Baudrillard called as the rotting carcass, right? So that's what it is. And now poor Sakarnio, after they took his sperms, they sent him out of the Nebuchadnezzar, and notice, he'll never be back there again.
Lost.
What do you mean? Without him?
All right, here is the scene. Notice the gesture here. I think from here on and up until the moment they leave the Nebuchadnezzar or that building or that hotel where they are all there, right? That's where they siphon off the sperms, right? Now, I don't mean to be grisly here or disgusting, but if you notice what this guy is doing. All right, you saw what Cypher did, right? That's a gesture that this is going to be, you see, those people are not human, so they cannot interact sexually with Neo, who's supposedly a human, right? But they want the sperms. How do they do it? They just siphon it off somehow. Now, when we came into this room, right, when they came into this room, I had a little bit of problem here. I mean, the way he's holding, right, using his right hand from behind the spout, and then the left hand is holding the cup, right? And then the fluid that's falling down does look to me like semen, right? Now, the process has begun to siphon off the sperms from him because they figured out that, or at least from the get-go, that this specimen, or Neo, the one that they decapitated during initiation, right, in that room with checkered floor, right, that he, now they're siphoning that off manually. So the reason is either they cannot, like Trinity being a demon, right, or a demoness, right, she cannot sleep with him, right, which gives us a clue about Mary, mother of Jesus, right, or that they are disgusted with him, that Tank and Dozer, and that's also a highly likely situation here, is that Tank and Dozer and Morpheus and Trinity, they look down upon Neo. They will not mate, or she will not mate with him, right? So what they do is siphon off his sperms because they're disgusted by him, right? Or he may find out the truth during the ritual of mating. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm seeing here. In this situation, now here, if you look, I told you earlier that Cypher is doing his own thing, right? But if you look here, I don't know what to make of that. I really don't know what to make of that. I mean, you could draw your own conclusions here. And again, this is the stuff that you don't notice, the quick succession of frames or anything else, you know. This is more of a obscure plot, if you will, or flow of events. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm right, right? And they start making statements like that, right? So they broke it for him, but they siphoned off his semen. Now, if you notice how Mouse is doing, notice his eyes and his lips, and also notice Dozer. He is staring at him. I don't know what he just did here. If you look at Neo, he did something below the belt. I don't know what that means. Now notice Dozer. So I think that's what they mean by that. It's really not food. It's really they just siphoned off his, you know, his semen. Notice Dozer. He never looks away. Runny eggs, right? I never tasted that.
Bowl.
Bowl of snot. Does that sound familiar? Bowl of snot? Snot? You know, snot is the stuff that runs out of your nose if you have a cold or a flu or something of the sort. And if you want to compare the two, you know, semen does look like snot, right?
Snot. Do you know what it really reminds me of? Tasty wheat.
So he is making, you know, like, now he's talking to him about something, but poor Neo, he does not know what he's talking about, right? Notice.
Do you agree?
No, but technically neither did you.
That's
Yeah, because he's like that as well.
exactly my point. Exactly. Because you have to wonder now. Now, how do the machines really know what tasty wheat tasted like? Huh?
Machines. Now we know from the timeline of the movie, as described by Tank, right? When he called Neo a machine, he's a machine. Later or earlier, Morpheus also dubbed him indirectly as a machine. Machines, right? A machine is a human being. That's us.
Maybe they got it wrong.
He got it wrong.
Maybe what I think tasty wheat tasted like actually tasted like oatmeal or tuna fish. It makes you wonder about a lot of things. You take chicken, for example, maybe they couldn't figure out what to make chicken taste like, which is why chicken tastes like everything. And maybe they can figure out.
It's a single cell protein.
It's a single cell protein. Oh, well, guess what? Single cell protein. What is a single cell protein?
Combined with synthetic
Aminos and vitamins and minerals and so on, so the sperm would continue to live, right?
vitamins and minerals. Everything the body needs.
Everything the body needs to become somebody, to become a body, to be born, to be cloned, right? Everything a clone needs. What he means by that, everything a clone needs, right?
Which is why chicken tastes like everything. And maybe they can figure out.
It's a single cell protein combined with synthetic aminos, vitamins, and minerals. Everything the body.
That's everything the body needs, right? That's everything a clone, the clone needs.
It doesn't have everything the body needs.
All right, what does he mean by that? I think he still needs the embryo. Now, whatever the body needs, right? First, those are said the clone needs a single cell protein and mineral and amino acid, right? Now, Mouse is gonna explain it doesn't have what the body needs, right? What else does the clone need?
So I understand.
See?
But you run through the agent training program. No, I wrote that program.
Here it comes.
So what did you think of it? A boom.
Of hair.
Moving in the right direction.
So that's the other thing. It doesn't have, because a cell, single cell, or the sperm, doesn't have everything the body needs or the clone needs. What else does it need? And now Mouse said it doesn't have everything the body needs, right? What else it needs? It needs a woman, meaning an embryo, a carrier, right? A female, right? So that she can get pregnant and so on. So it's very obvious now. All that stuff that's was siphoned off from him is really massive amount of sperms.
She young. Well, she doesn't talk very.
She doesn't talk very much. They never really meet, right?
I can arrange much more personalized milling.
Digital pin parted work.
And pay no attention to these hypocrites, Neo. To deny our own impulses is to
So, notice his gesture and the way he is looking, right?
To deny our own impulses is to deny the very thing that makes us human.
Makes us human. And as I told you in the first commentary, notice they're all castrated or broken, right? They're castrated. Somehow, the spoons are broken. Here, the spoon, I believe it means a penis. When the Buddhist monk was holding those spoons, I believe those are sperms. Notice how he's looking at us, right? Wily, sly fox, mouse, and everybody is looking down. I explained that to you. Now I understand it better. You see, that dumb idiot here, Neo, right? He thinks he's part of this company here, of this group, right? But he's not. And they just, look, they've taken his sperms.
Those are, when we're done, bring the ship up to broadcast depth. We're going in.
All right. So now they are satisfied. They're monitoring him from the outside. Who's monitoring him? Everybody. The agents, Morpheus, the Oracle, those two women who work for the Oracle or sit with the Oracle in their house, and the step here, his sperms have been taken. So it's now, he's no longer needed. So we're going in. And he gave him that look, right? Now notice how everybody looks. See that? See that?
See who?
See that?
No.
Here, my friends, something is going to happen. Number one, he is going to leave the Nebuchadnezzar and this group and not going to come back, right? He's going to be killed by the agents in this very same building here where they are now, right? And notice the screens. They're blue now, right? The back, they're bluish. They're turning blue. So here, poor Neo, he's just being judged and they're going to kill him, is what I'm trying to say. So this step here they finished siphoning off his sperms. The next step or the next stage is to send him outside of the Nebuchadnezzar and make sure that the sperms are fertilized or the eggs are fertilized by the sperms, right, that they stole from him, and now they're going to kill him, right? Notice, once they leave, they will never come back. That's why there was that look on their faces, all of them. Why? Because they knew what's going to happen to him. The only ones who could not notice, I think, is Dozer. We didn't see Dozer and Mouse, right? Dozer and Mouse. They didn't notice. Mouse didn't notice or something. All right. So now, let's look again. If you look here, the reflection shows you something. It shows a barrel of a gun, right? There's a barrel of a gun, and you get confused. You may think it is some kind of a hole in the knob. No. And if you look, Morpheus's tie is sitting on his arm. Do you know how when they assassinate people, sometimes they cover their arm? They're holding a gun or something, or a rifle, and they cover their arm with a coat. And if you look here, it does appear as if Morpheus is holding a rifle or a gun, and he's covered it with his coat, part of his coat, right? So this here is telling us that, as I just told you, that when Morpheus said we're taking him to see we're going in, or taking him to see the Oracle, that's a judgment. Now his sperms have been taken, like I said, in mass by the spout and so on. and now he's gonna shoot him, right? And as you can see, there's a barrel of a gun here, and here there is a it's covered, you know, rifle or gun or big gun or whatever it is, it's covered by his coat. So that's it. When they decided to take him in, his sperms have already been taken, and the execution has been decree or judgment has been issued against him. Okay, again, I tried to decipher those here. Like there's Mo, M-O-O, M-O or M-O-L, right? But my guesstimate is, and I'm just shooting a guess here, conjecture. It's a matter of conjecture or guessing, right? You know, trying to throw a guess, see if it sticks. I think this gibberish here is symbology or the language of demons, right? Maybe that's what it is. Other than that, I really do not know. Okay, I got something to speculate on here. Notice how they're looking at him, right? I told you, this here, they just, you know, they're taking his sperms, right? And if you notice, the woman, as if the woman is moving from one quarter into another. This one here is green. This one here is dark, right? And I explained in my previous videos about Eurasia and so on and so forth.
These are the other potentials. You can wait here.
So, that is one terrible look. Excuse that thing here. That's, I think, my camera or something. I don't know what it is. Right? Why are they looking at him inquisitively, curiously? You know, there are two explanations to that. One is they know what's going on, and this guy is going to die. Two, they know he's their father, and three, they're really just like him as a clone who's lived among like 5 or 6 people in the Nebuchadnezzar. And he doesn't know the outside world. Do you know how when he walked out of the hotel, he started looking around? It's like something he never seen before, right? And that's probably them. They didn't know, probably they don't know there's someone like a human being aside from the very, people they know in their very small private circle, such as the oracle, her assistant, that woman who was holding the baby, and each other here as well. Probably Morpheus, because he walks in time and again with the Neos. These two do not look at him. Maybe they're like him, I don't know. So, what if we are all immaculate conceptions, right? We humans. How do I know? How do you know, right? The other thing is poor Morpheus. I mean, not Morpheus, poor Neo. He's been through so much, and they were so careful not to let him sense, S-E-N-S-E, right? S-E-N-S-E, not to let him sense anything. He's a brown ball, right? And they're taking stuff from him. Or a green ball, right? This is a sad story, folks. What they're trying to say here is that demons are using humans as clones, as source of sperms, and so on. And they're very selective about whom they take sperms from, right? So are we all immaculate conception? Are we all clones? I don't believe that. I have evidence to tell me that's not the case. But yeah, sure enough, few things I know here is that that their kind, and that of Trinity, and so on, are in fact, right? Are in fact, they don't like us. They don't like the Neos and the clones. That's us. They hate us. and they only deal with us and try to conceal or guard against showing their disgust and their hatred to us, right? And that's what I think. That's what I think. And they appear as Muslims sometimes, or Shiites, right? And so on and so forth. Borneo. So let me take you back into one certain scene, and I will explain what it is to you.
What was said was for you, and for you alone.
What does that mean? Say it for you alone. Or I could substitute, say it is done. What was done is done for you alone. Or say it for you alone. Here's what I think it is a threat, if you will. A threat. That you say anything about that, you're going to be gone, right? Now, the glasses appears to me when they're dark that the one inside is talking, right? The spirit inside is talking. When they're reflective, it is them, the body, that is talking, the human being. And you can see there's always that reflection of terrible eyes. So who are the women in red, right? Women in red, I think it's not a simulation program. I think the women in red are the ones who were waiting on his sperms as well. They're the surrogate mothers, right? Or they're the mothers, right? But these are the ones that become pregnant and conceive the child and give birth. That's what he was talking about earlier.
They're on their way.
Execution is now on the way, right? Notice, like I told you, after he left, Nebuchadnezzar, he just will never go back there anymore. Here, if you want to sort out through the clutter and gibberish, and I think they're communicating in symbols and metaphor and meanings, right? I think here what Cypher is doing, according to the movie, right? He is giving instructions, relaying instructions from Morpheus or the Oracle, and possibly some others who don't show up, right? To the agent, if you want to consider the agent here, if you have watched, I think, if you watched Pulp Fiction, right? Samuel Jr., I think, was it Samuel Jr.? And John Travolta are the wolves, right? And they're in fact the agent, something similar here. And as I explained to you that the harp, right? The harp is usually they play at somebody's funeral in the ancient days.
Morpheus.
And here, what he's saying here is that they have already siphoned off, or going to siphon off, or going to burn Neo. This is the instruction. Usually, if they take a big, like they inhale deep on cigarette or something like that, that means kill or something of the sort. Now here, if they're talking about Zion,
Ignorance is bliss.
So that's the heart, right? So ignorance is bliss, that's the heart, you know. They may mean, when they say Morpheus, they may be talking about Neo. I cannot decipher exactly the wording between, or the conversation, word for word, or meanings, or simile, or symbology, symbolism, or, you know, hints between the conversation between Cypher and Agent Smith. But if I wanted to remove Morpheus from the picture and substitute with Neo, may get somewhere. Let's try again.
Then we have a deal. I don't remember nothing.
He don't want to remember nothing. I think he's talking on behalf of Morpheus and Zion, right? That this will have to be killing Neo and cloning him will have to be brushed off history, you know, will have to be erased from history and from record books and from anything, like it never happened.
Nothing.
Nothing. So Cypher is the connection, is the communication or relay, or go in between the agents and Morpheus.
You understand? I don't want to be rich. You know, someone important.
So they're gonna get money.
Like an actor.
Whatever you want, Mr. Reagan.
Okay. You get my body back to the power plant. Reinsert me into the Matrix. I'll get you what you want.
Access codes to the Zion mainframe.
No, I told you I don't know them.
Here, I think he means, I don't know, I'm trying to guess, that he doesn't know the keys. Remember the key and the eye and the whole keyhole in Neo's door? I think that's what he means by that. That this angel wants to, you know, he's dealing with Morpheus and company, and he wants to go into the world of Neo, where Neo came from. Possibly. The Kukukowskis can shed the, you know what? I don't think they even know what it is. I think they just made it a movie. They took the script and made it a movie.
And get you the man who does.
And that's Neo, right?
Morpheus.
They mean Neo. Alright, I want to show you something here and then I'm gonna close out on this. Give me a second. Okay, so if you recall, I made a joke on this one, kill your mother, or Kim, right? Keep that in mind. I want to explain to you. I want to show you where it is, right? Kim, this is a name, costume designer, Kim Barrett, right? I will show you her name, right? Not the calligraphy, what is it called? Give me a second. Yeah, the graffiti, so the graffiti. All right, but now before that, I want you to see something. Give me a second. If you notice that bright dot here reflecting, that's Eerie Fox, because I've seen that before. Not in a man, just floating by itself. I know you may call me crazy and all. No, that's how they move, folks. It's not exactly like that. It's something like this, but it's blazing, you know? It's like blazing and moving very slowly. And it appears and reappears like in a fraction of a second. But that's how they travel interdimensional. When they travel interdimensional, it's like a dot, small, something similar to this, or perhaps a little bit smaller, moving about very slowly, right? And then it's producing blaze, you know, and the blaze is not exactly straight, you know, they're like weaving and so on and so forth. And then it appears and disappears, and that's the other dimension. I saw that myself. So, give me a second. So that's where Kim is. Kill your mother. Or kill your mason or something like that. It's very funny. Alright, I'm going to close out on this one, but this is only in regards to, okay, this is commentary on dissecting and unloading the matrix, or the matrix unloaded and dissected, next level. So this only has to do with the scene about that Buddhist monk that keeps, that's always a mystery to me. Even now, I have a better handle on that situation, on who he is and so on. There's still a little as to why they choose a Buddhist monk to portray that. I speculated, but as to why choose a Buddhist monk is still beyond me. All right, have a nice day, and we'll continue tomorrow on the next video, and then I will show you on historic level what they're talking about by the map and green and Islamdom and so on. Oh, you don't believe that, do you? But it's in there. Have a nice day, my friends, and we'll talk to you later.